Hello Aries, thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Bonefire Tarot by Gabby Angus West. For the supportive oracle cards, Wisdom of the House of Night. Here above the barcode you can see who created it. But you can also find these on Amazon fairly easily if you look them up online. I'm already getting like the hiccups. What's up with that? 1, 2. I think that's it for those, for whatever reason. Alright, we got the tarot cards now. This seems to be like having a circle feel. That's an interesting card you got down there. That's a very interesting card for Aries especially. We're going to see how this comes up. The ending has got me wondering because Aries, you know, they usually deal with things head on. That's usual. It's stereotypical Aries that I know of anyway. So where this is going at the end has got me very curious because something's a little interesting. Coming into this situation, you have loyalty. Now, when I'm feeling this, I do feel like it's kind of like I said I was going to do this, and this is what I'm doing. I feel that Aries is usually very good at being loyal to themselves in the sense of like, I'm standing with my truth. For example, if you say, I'm going to be a part of this situation, I will see it through to the end, and I'm committing to you, telling you I will do this, and you're there, and you said this, and you committed to it, you will see through it, whether you like it or not. You're like, no, my word is my bond, and I will do this. But there's also the caveat, kind of like, if somebody steps in my way, or if somebody starts to abuse me, and taking advantage of a situation, I will let this person know that that's happening. This could change the terms of a contract. Kind of like, it's like this could breach a contract. Like if I said I was going to stick through to the end, for example, like getting married to somebody, and one of your terms to stay married to someone is like, you know, we're monogamous. That's that. If the other person cheats on you, that could be like, well, this nullifies that contract, and I might have to go because the loyalty to myself is like, I won't allow that. Like that's the terms you got into. Terms were breached, that could change, and that's like you being loyal to yourself, saying, "I said I would stick to this, but once you break that that rule of the contract, null and void." Okay, so that's what we're starting with. Like you have full intentions as long as things stay the way they're supposed to, as long as things stay the way that we were agreed to, we're cool. Everything can be great. There's a lot of conversations. A lot of like you got the King of Swords and the King of Wands working together with you in this situation. Now this could talk about the communication going between you and someone else or a group effort here. Action and communication should be matching at least in the beginning, and everybody gets along because it's all out on the table. This is where we stand. This is what we think. This is what we're agreeing to. This is where you have to stay. If you stay within these parameters, then I will stay within these parameters. It's very on the level. It's kind of like I will stick with a situation as long as the terms are met, as long as the terms are honored. You know what I mean? Everybody holds up their end of the bargain. We're cool. Now I'm also seeing the Page of Coins here, which is also starting this out. Even going into it, even though everybody's on the same page, everybody's agreeing, everybody's happy, you stay in your parameters, you stay in your parameters, I'll stay within my parameters. There's still this Page of Pentacles energy, which for you, for the Aries energy, I'm getting it's kind of like, yeah, it's going to get a bit tedious at times. And yeah, there's going to be times where I get bored with it and I'm not going to want to stick with it. But I know this is coming forward. As long as this person stays in there or these people stay in their parameters, I will uphold my end of the bargain. You're knowing this is going to be a thing where in the future you're going to want to step away every now and then. But you're like, as long as people stay within the lines, I can hold up my end of the bargain. I will stay within parameters. Now, in the In the environment, you have success, which that gives a very contract feel with that contract. Like, look at it. It looks like, oh, this one. It looks like a contract to me. A lot of you are probably like, yeah, well, that is a contract. But then you have cycles here. Like, it's talking about moon cycles, but still. I'm getting like, this is the first cycle of the contract. This is going to go around. It's going to ebb and flow. And it's kind of like, this is being agreed upon. It doesn't feel like you're the only one agreeing. Even if it's just one other person, the other person is also on the same level. If it's more than one person, everybody seems to be on the same page. Starts off really good. Seems fair, seems fine. Everything seems good. Not far into this situation, you get this card. Trapped. I feel like literally you're looking back like, oh my God, what have I gotten myself into? I agreed I was going to do this. And I meant it, but you're already like, oh my gosh, like, I don't know why I said I'd do this. I feel like sooner rather than later, it's already getting a little bit annoying. And you're like, oh, I mean, I knew it was going to be like this. I just didn't realize it was going to be like this right off the bat. Seems like it came in a lot too soon, a lot sooner than expected. It got really kind of like, oh, I don't really want to do this now. Oh, I don't know. I do see you trying to work it out with the Queen of Swords energy. You're coming into the situation. You're trying to communicate with, I didn't expect it to feel like this right off the bat. You're not going against anything you committed to. You're holding to the situation, but you're trying to communicate it out. Kind of like, you know what? This is becoming more of a detriment than I expected it to. I'm not really enjoying this. I'd like to see if we can spice this up a little bit. Are there any... Like, you're talking to other people. Whoever you've committed something to, you're trying to find a way to spice it up or bring some more color into it, whatever you need to do. And it's weird because the world energy is coming in with it. And I feel like other people are like... They're going forward and like they're trying to change what's happening here. I feel like when you're communicating, people are taking it the wrong way. And it's almost like they're looking at something as if it's going to snap back and lash back at them, and that's not what you're doing. You're not saying you're going to walk away from a situation, but other people seem to be taking it as if you are. And it's like they're looking at a situation and not they're putting their own flavor on it. You're just saying, I'm not going anywhere. I'm trying to see if I can liven this up and make this a little different. Maybe bring some more joy into it so that I'll want to stay with it. I'm going to keep going. I said I would, and I will. But I'm just seeing if I can bring some more flavor into it. That's all. People are taking this the wrong way. And I feel like people are, like, I feel like when you're bringing this forward, other people are abandoning the situation. Other people are walking away. Other people have the Chariot card, and they're walking away from a situation. And I feel like it's really strange because you're just like trying to get possibilities to come forward. Other people are walking away. The situation, I think, will end. Whatever this was, I don't feel like it's right because it almost feels like people are blaming you for this situation ending. Other people are walking away. I feel like you're getting the blame. And I just feel like it's strange to me. Because the way this is going, you've got the Hermit card on its side, which is telling me... It's telling me, especially with the air upside down, a little bit cockeyed here, it's the High Priestess of Air. It's like things, you're not really even sure what people are talking about. You're not really even sure people are blaming you. So it's kind of like you don't know really what to speak to. You're sort of absorbing information, but it's not like you're not really believing some of the stuff coming forward to you, as if you're getting blamed for the situation ending, but you're like, well, I don't know if that really makes sense. It's a weird energy the way this is kind of going out. Whoever you did this situation with, I just feel like the energy is really in some type of discord, and you're not gonna see it for a while. You got the Temperance card saying, give it time. You're gonna see where there's discord. there's a bit of deceit around the situation. There is a bit of deceit around the situation. I don't think this is right in the sense of like it's not your fault that it ended. You were just trying to bring forth possibilities and talk things out, kind of like, you know what, I'm not enjoying this as much as I thought I was. I just want to see if there's a way we can edit it to make it better. But somebody else took it upon themselves just to get out of the situation, just like to call it quits. Because when somebody else walked away, I feel like the rest of it just kind of fell in. There's nothing left to really, like other people left the situation and caused it to fall in. You didn't leave it. You were trying to liven it up. At some point down the road, you were going to see where you're blamed for this situation. I feel like as long as you're ready for it, this is what I'm feeling. They're giving you the heads up, like, if there's some way you can keep emails or some type of documentation, or just even if you have to write yourself a note about how the situation played out and email it to yourself and put it in your own little special folder in your email just so you can, you know, refresh your mind on it later, just so you can truly remember what actually happened, because it's going to be a long while before it comes up again. You want to do this, and I feel like that's why this is coming forward now, because at some point you're going to see this deceit. And it's going to be like, it may be down the road so far that you're like, well, I know that's not how it worked out, but I'm having a hard time at this point remembering the actual details, which could be annoying in its own right. They're saying, realize this situation, especially if you're one of those people where, yeah, I know that situation ended. It's not my fault it ended, but it seemed to be everybody else gave up when I just posed a question. Write down everything you know. Keep any emails you can. Don't make it ridiculous. You know, like if there's a bunch of emails, like send yourself an email explaining what email is for what. Like give yourself a snapshot so later on you can refresh your mind fairly easily. I feel like for a lot of you, I would say send yourself an email explaining what happened and what you did and what other people did and how it ended the situation. You don't have to make it long, just enough so you remember the points. If there's emails or something you have to save with it, maybe there's pictures of things, email those pictures to yourself. Keep those other emails in reference, but have a main email for yourself where you've explained to yourself what actually happened and why. Because I feel like you're going to need it. You're literally going to need it. I've done this myself. I've done this years ago, actually, where like I've sent myself information and I've had a explanation email like, well, this is why all this is here, this is what actually happened, this is the decision I made, this is the decision other people made because of something I did, blah 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 blah. And that way, you know, in years later when you're like, it's foggy in your brain, you're like, I kind of remember this, I kind of remember that, I don't remember specifics. When you can go through that proof later and be like, oh, that's right, I remember this, oh yep, and that's right there. That way, if it comes up in the future and somebody's like saying things that aren't true, you can remember it clearly, and you can even have the evidence, if necessary, to further out and say like, well, this is where this happened, and this is where that happened, and this is what I actually did, and you can try to blame me for this, but quite clearly this is not my fault because of this, and the other thing. It's all about keeping. Like, I've done this myself, where I've emailed myself stuff and explained things to myself and kept it in a little quiet folder in my own email, like it's put away and I know where it is. If I need it, I know where to go for it, I find it, okay, there we go. And then I can refresh my own mind. That way I'm like, I know exactly what happened and I remember it freshly now, and I sent myself that message, so I know how to handle this situation now. Because if a few years goes by, it'll be foggy. It will be foggy. I mean, we're all human, right? Some of you might have photographic or autographic memories, and cool for you, but most of us don't. So do what you gotta do. Anything else here? Alright, that's what they're giving you the heads up about. They're saying just protect yourself. It's going to be a ways down the road, but as long as you have this stuff off to the side for yourself, won't matter, because you'll have everything you need to handle the situation correctly, and this deceit will be foiled. And that'll be that. It'll be easily foiled. Anything else? Alright, I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.